Everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, we're going to take a look at another of Hasbro Toys' upcoming Marvel Legends Infinite Series Avengers Wave 2 figures with the Avengers Age of Ultron movie Captain America figure. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style of packaging that we have seen with the other figures in this Avengers line. Though there is a little bit of a difference. So up in the corner we have the Build-A-Figure Thanos wave because it comes with a piece, a Build-A-Figure piece for Thanos. But then we have, instead of the Marvel logo like we've seen with the comic book based figures in this line, we have the Avengers Age of Ultron logo since this is a movie figure. Then the figure is clearly displayed in the window box packaging along with all the accessories that it comes with. And then we have the Marvel Legends Infinite Series logo down below and the Captain America name. And then off in the little corner we have that Avengers Initiative logo that we've seen with other Avengers-based products before. On the sides of the packaging we have some artwork of Captain America. It's the same artwork on both sides. And then on the back of the packaging, we have the logos for Marvel Legends and the Age of Ultron movie, and then an image of the figure itself, and a little brief bio for Captain America in different languages. Again, it tells us that the Build-A-Figure is Thanos, and then it shows you what figures are in this wave and what parts each figure come with for that Thanos figure. And with Captain America, he comes with Thanos' left leg. I'm sorry, his right leg. Okay, so let's get this figure open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging along with all the accessories that it comes with, including the Build-A-Piece for Thanos. Now this is a comic book version of Thanos in his more recent Marvel Now costume. So he comes with the right leg. Now we'll look closer at this when we look at the actual Thanos figure after we've looked at all the figures in this series and have all the Build-A-Figure pieces open. But Captain America here comes with Thanos' right leg. And you'll be happy to know that he does have ankle pivot. Okay, so if this figure looks familiar to you, it's probably because you own it already for the most part. Because basically this is the exact same figure that Hasbro has already released in their Captain America the Winter Soldier line with the stealth suit Captain America. It's the same figure, same mold, just repainted to look like the costume he wears in the Avengers Age of Ultron movie. Even the exact same accessories, the shield's just repainted, but it's exactly the same interchangeable hands and the same interchangeable head. So basically these figures are almost identical except for their paint jobs. Okay, so now while that Captain America figure is not a bad figure, and I actually think they've done a pretty good job of repainting it, it's not 100% accurate to what we see in the movie. There are some minor differences, most notably, you'll see here I've made a little comparison of the two. Most notably in the shoulder area, there's supposed to be some black around his shoulders. Again, around his neck area too is supposed to be a little bit darker. And then for the biggest difference probably is discrepancy is with the gloves. These are not really the kind of gloves that he wears with this outfit. And there should be more red mixed in the gloves. Same with the boots. This image I've done the comparison with doesn't show you the boots, but the boots should have a little bit of red mixed in as well. But still, overall, I think they've done a pretty good job of repainting this figure. However, some of the problems that I had with that commander or that stealth suit Captain America, obviously I have with this one as well. And those are with his shield. I think his shield is a little too big. I don't know why they made the shield so big. But, I think, here's comparison with another shield. I think this came with the Ultimate Captain America, and you can see just how much bigger it is. Even the shield that came with the first Avengers Captain America, again, much bigger. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this shield either. Mainly the straps are so big on this and they stick out from behind the shield so easily. However, at least with this one, you can, because of the big straps, you can put it on his back if you want to, One of the things I don't like about this shield is that they don't, the straps aren't big enough, so you can't put them around his shoulders, so you can't have him hold the shield on his back, which is a classic look for Captain America. I really, I like the versions that they put in the comic book versions of Captain America that has the little clip and then the little peg. I know that means you've got to put a peg on the back of the figure, which these don't have, but I like that design much better than these straps that they use with these movie figures. Another issue I kind of have with this figure, I like this alternate head, the Steve Rogers head. It makes a great comic book version of Steve Rogers. Basically, what it comes down to is this is a movie figure. It's supposed to be based on Chris Evans, and this head sculpt looks nothing like Chris Evans. So from that standpoint, I don't really like this head they keep using for these movie figures. So finally, the figure comes with two pairs of alternate hands. He's got a hand for the left hand where he's pointing, and then he's got two closed fist hands, and then he's got for his right hand kind of a saluting hand with the fingers all the way out, or karate chop hand, however you want to call it. And again, those are the exact same kind of hands as that stealth suit Captain America from the Winter Soldier line came with. So the detail on this figure is not too bad, again, especially being for a repaint. I like, this is probably my favorite costume out of all the Marvel movies we've seen for Captain America. I think this is the most true to his comic book costume. In fact, here's a comparison to the Marvel Now Captain America and the movie version. You can see, there's some similarities in the look and everything. So I definitely like this costume. He's got the little A's for the Avengers painted on his shoulders. It's on both shoulders. He's got the red around the star, that silver metallic looking star with the line work on it like we see with all the movie versions. He's got the A, the silver paint with the A painted on, and then the wings are painted on as well. It's got the straps for the helmet, just like we saw with the Commander Rogers, or I keep calling it Commander Rogers because that's what I think of for that costume. But the stealth suit Captain America, he's got the red, white on his chest area. So all of that looks good. He's got some line work from the Winter Soldier cap, but that doesn't bother me too much. It doesn't stand out. It looks more like just kind of wrinkles in his pants and stuff. So that doesn't really bother me. Again, I think for the most part, I think they did a good job repainting this figure. Other than with the glove area, I think the glove area was a little weak. They could have done a little better job there. But other than that, I think they did a pretty good job repainting this figure. So scale on this figure overall is pretty decent. Fits in with the other movie figures that we've seen from Hasbro. The figure stands at just about 6.5 inches tall. Here he is for comparison next to that Winter Soldier Black Widow figure. And again, you can see Cap is taller than Black Widow as he should be. And then here he is next to the first Avengers movie Thor figure. And again, you can see Thor is much taller than Cap as he should be. So articulation on this figure is pretty much exactly the same that we've seen with that Winter Soldier Captain America figure. So if you own that one, you know what to expect with this one. But we'll go over it real quick. The head's on a ball hinge joint, so he can look left and right, and he's got up or down movement, some up and down movement. He's got the ball hinge joints at the shoulder. He's got good rotation. He can get his arm out good. He's got the bicep swivel. He's got the double jointed elbow. And then he's got the hinge swivel wrists. He has the midsection joint, so he can do the crunch pretty good, and he can look back pretty good. He has a swivel at the waist. The belt on this figure is actually a separate piece, so it kind of moves around on the figure, but it allows you so you can turn the waist. Ball joints for the legs. He can do the splits about that much with this one. He can get his leg forward good and back, out and back pretty good. He's got the thigh swivel. He's got the double jointed knees. He's got the boot cuff swivel, and then he has the ankle pivot and 2 peg holes on the bottom of his feet. Okay, so that's my review. overall, I got some, minor gripes about the figure. Same gripes I basically had with the Winter Soldier Captain America. I don't like the alternate head for a movie version figure since it looks nothing like Chris Evans. I think the shield is too big, and I don't like the straps, how they've done it. I don't like that you can't basically put his shield on his back with these figures. Otherwise, though, I think it's a pretty nice figure. Again, especially since this is kind of my favorite version of the movie Caps to date. I definitely glad we're getting this figure. Could have done a little bit better job with the gloves, but otherwise I think they did a solid job of repainting this Winter Soldier Cap to look like his Avengers costume. This figure is in the second wave of Marvel Legends Infinite Avengers, which has not been released yet. Should probably start hitting shelves here in the United States. I'm going to say probably around March time. I don't have an exact release date, but I would guess that's probably when we'll start seeing them pop up on shelves. So that's my review. We'll be looking at the other figures from this line in the coming days, so stay tuned for that. And as always, please leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And until next time, I'll catch you later.